74 players right now remaining. Does not surprise us in the slightest, to be honest, especially with how much money is on the line. Hair surge, 2 more players need to get eliminated.
I think he just got up now as players began to drop. So Wakey went down to the Storm, Skype an elimination onto Astonish. We are 1 player away from the end of Storm Surge, and there it is as we just hit the threshold. So now no more panic has to come through for these players for the moment. The next one will come into play in a couple more zones as Keenstar right now, the Envy's
look out to see other players that maybe a player that we've seen in competitive qualifiers. He actually spent some time talking to Hogman a lot to refine his gameplay and his drop. We've seen a big improvement since then. Quick shout out to Hogman for helping Bucky out with that one. All the way here to the World Cup.
In the inventory for 25 extra health.
It depends on that Royale points to eliminate the focus side of Neo tilted. Actually a pretty low pressure. This mean doesn't
damage, and look what's also on the ground right there. Go with the spray weapon from FaZe, who played yesterday in the duos competition with Dubs. Dubs already dropped his game. We'll see how Mega plays this one. Gets in the opponent's box, 2 clean shots. And there it comes through, and near max materials, Slurp Juice as well as Chug Splashes will be sitting pretty. Eastern side of the current zone. Build out a little bit, grab the excess, still have the owns. Here's every boxed up still in this game, and not able to close it out. Threshold, this activates
a lot of players here in Zay's already, and he's the one box is gone. Wall and immediately swap to that.
Doctor by them, Zay Surge for players. Car who did just pick up Doctor to that Storm Surge, useful in these rotating zones. And oh man, Lolboom is eating this stink bomb. 50 damage, Dr. Lupo. Terrible, terrible
World Cup
to be in for Lolboom. Damage.
Lolboom, a solo Irishman. Multiple ballers on the outside. He might be able to grab that one in the water right there. Evil Mare still there as well on the field. Psalm rotating in, multiple ballers still on the field.
Look at that build.
Look at the Oh this is like a Fortnite World Cup apartment complex. You have countless players stacked in next to each other. Bizzle going for the edit reset, can't quite catch himself just yet.
Booga still making plays happen. A lot of people have him.
Can't quite catch himself just yet.
Booga still making plays happen. A lot of people have him high on to rough start in game number 1. Bizzle, one of the most consistent and winningest Fortnite pro players of all time, Dr. Lupo. When you say a veteran in Fortnite competitive, Bizzle is at the top of that list, but here's Yarkos again, now on the high ground after that first elimination down onto Aqua, looking for more right now as he's got ultimate high.
This is one of the best spots in the game right now. We'll have to see where the map is going to rotate in north-northwest, so he's going to have to make a move soon. A very hefty weapon loadout. Not a whole ton of rotation. Does have the 2 launch pads, does have the redeploy, but those are going to leave you exposed up in the air. Little look back, King. Rotation here. The feed starting to light up. 38 players.
Oh, yeah.
And that count is going to go down, down, down. Zate eliminated by Left Eye. Colorful taking up another one out as well. King, 4 eliminations. You have to remember, placement points don't kick in until top 25, so he only has those 4. But those are 4 very, very big points. Here we go, the Storm starting to pressure players. You're going to see a lot of launch pads and redeploys coming to play, and those community movement mechanics like launch pads placed on the ground would be tough. A player actually just flew right through King's box.
That could have been bad, Dr. Lupo. That could have been real bad.
Maybe a trap play from either player. We'll have to see here. Benji Fishy in the feed taking another elimination. Top 35 now, Jax. We're coming 30 seconds away from the next circle.
And Mr. Savage trying to contest Rux for height as they both continue to build on up. Mr. Savage goes for the shot. Rux gives it up for the moment. So game 1 right now, the height goes to Mr. Savage, but there's still a ton of time left on the low ground right now. You've got Pika week, Class week, Fledermoy's week, Tuesday week as well. Mr. Savage has shot down Rux for the moment. He still continues to keep height. Yarkos, though, looking to challenge right now. 27 players left. Placement points about to come into play.
Yarkos takes the ultimate high in the backside there. Riverside from Team Liquid flying across right to left of your screen. Multiple players. Ultimate low ground warriors down there, both in and out of ballers. Class looks like he might be a campfire in the middle of it. Mr. Savage.
King had 7 limbs, and it's made it into placements. start in game one. 120 in total HP. Can he find his elim? No! As the crowd erupts. Top 20 now, though, but King got the job done. There was 27 players left, Dr. Lupo. King eliminates the last two to make it a top 25 for the placement points.
Huge plays there. Waylon Kurtz going down to the feed. What a shot and a quick edit swap there. Booga showing why he's one of the most active.
Top 15.
Players. Top 15. Meg with an elim. Your feed in the top left. One of the most important things to watch if you're looking for players' names. Here he's gonna have to wait and bait players out. Movement now. Here it is. The shadow bomb for rotation. He's still got two more in his inventory, which this late in the game is huge. He does have the 3 shockwave grenades as well, in case height needs to be taken, or even a long-range rotation. 8 players remaining. Jack Yarkos, 4 eliminations. Everyone in here getting those placement points. Beam from above and goes down. One in here getting those placement points. Beam from the 5 right now moving forward.
But not only that, 2 shadow bombs left, still with shockwave grenades too.
Через.
The number one point you've
У
seen
него вообще
in
резов не
this
было.
weekend. When do you use the shockwave to go for height? It's Sam currently on height. Booga sees that. That was
Буга чемпион мира, понятно.
I think it's time, Dr. Lupo. Go, shadow bomb will be used. Okay, so not quite doing it yet.
Looking for a high ground.
Резов на 27 построек.
He's saving those. Don't you worry. I guarantee before too long, a player like this is going to make plays. Sitting the edge of the storm, the box up. He's going for edit shots. Big hit. My gosh. The outside. Booga picking up his.
Буга остается на 4 в лоу-раунде. О, падением сильным. Буга остался на 3.
1v1 up top, 1v1 on the bottom, stuck in the box. Big hits, back-to-back shots. Booga picking up another elimination.
14 построек.
Almost going to be his game to win. We'll see.
Хорош. 8
8
киллов. 18 построек осталось.
Booga smiling. He's got the health advantage on Creo. Folks, it might be time for the shockwave play. Booga can soar up into the sky. Go for it. Here it is. Shockwave died. Shots coming in. No elimination yet for the first game victory royale.
Oh my gosh. Confident play from Booga. What a monster. The first victory royale.
The crowd on their feet. Booga, calm, cool, and collected, wipes out 5 of the last top 6 players for the victory royale. What a swing of points right there, Dr. Lupo. You get the win. Game and number out advantage for late games.
Раз победа. Ну, сейчас они будут часами. Наши. Кто из наших вообще на кол? Из наших никто в топ-20 не вошел. Нашего Латвика убили, вот. Кинг как мудак поступил, посмеялся. Что там по этому? 81%. Вот этого убивают. Вот наши сидят, сейчас где-то я их видел. Вот, Летвик и Фекси, вот. Фекси и Летвик наши. Наши оба. Вот Манграль сидит. Сейчас. Буга сидит. Где еще? Кого еще здесь знаю? Вот Тифу сидит. Потом. Я хочу Дапса найти. Дапс. Я смотрю, ну, знаю Дапса, типа, он хорошо очень играет, мне нравится. Правда, его сейчас найти не могу. Он же играл, я его видел. Где тут Дапс? Вот он, дапс, вот он, дапс.
Contested drops and players vying for those points. Seeing this game, Arcos, no team point. I think Tifu, yeah, there it is. They want to check all the games just to hold on to. Yeah,
best player in the world.
Буган, кстати, квартал выпал. Ну там ему кубок стоит, то что типа вот он от этой локи отыгрывал. Ему там кубок поставили, так как лучший. Ну типа он выиграл 3 мульта.
You gotta think.
Already has a have to exactly have.
I believe 29 possible chests or something along those lines, but as a already some good.
Я бы на отдаленная лока выпал. Это не без названия.
This thing so close. The thing is very, very deadly. Nick's picking up first
game. So every time I have 3 big.
О, Тифу играет. Я за Тифу хочу посмотреть. Мне не нравится Тифу вообще. Мне не нравится, как он играет. Не знаю. Для меня нет.
Tifu set up for the rest of this game, nearing max materials as well. This is what happens when you give this man block all by himself.
Осман Грааль?
Nobody wants to challenge here, but it's
Он, да, Тифу не. Мне не нравится.
Here are the blocks, so many materials, so many opportunities. There's actually also not terribly far from a slipstream.
Саваж забрал ХГ.
Down there. Meanwhile, Mr. Savage stuck in a 1v1 down here at Happy Hamlet. There's actually 3 players total. My apologies. You see on the mini map in the bottom right there. They can't see those arrows, but we definitely can. And Crew and Takamura still down inside in the building. Audio cues trying to listen for each other. Takamura, you see, not really moving. Crew trying to do some wall replacing to build up a little bit of a material buffer in case fighting does happen here. I think Mr. Savage is going to rotate out.
Here is Tifu with a player just in front. Like a fight he's potentially looking to take.
Сейчас форрайт обновляется. Тифу накрой себя крышкой. Лучше накройся.
Heal on up, so it does look like Tifu damaged the player, thought about challenge. Soon gonna have to move towards his zone.
If you're watching online and you get an opportunity here,
О, попали.
Тифу
запивается. Руки потеют.
That was kind of greedy from Tifu. He has a ton of materials. I think he didn't expect his opponent to challenge and go for a shot, but because he tries to save a couple walls of wood, has to pop one of those big shields, and Kluja says, you know what? I'm out of here, and the zone's already there, so Tifu has a long trek ahead of him. Might have to decide if he's going to use a launch pad here.
2 человека на стриме. Найс.
Nice.
Ой, куда я перемотал?
Leshy, very. See Booga with an elimination. Blaster with one as well. Players above the damage threat for these players. Fortnite World, incredible. And we also have.
Ну ничего страшного. Летвика убили.
Players are stacked on the right side of that zone. So if you're currently in this next zone, on that north or east side, you can put a ton of damage downrange as everyone has to move right at you. You see Karu does go down to Diego GB in your elimination feed. A drop coming on through. Crew boxed up, Creo boxed up. Rux under 100 health. Has to play this one safely, but they are so far on the east side of the zone. The storm is going to move quite quick, Ben. And they've got to be ready for it. There's already the first shockwave used. Rux trying to shoot them from behind. Not able to get elimination there. Class so far away.
Nice.
Will use the launch.
Блин, вообще, ребята, которые участвовали на World Cup, вообще огромные молодцы. Кстати, вот не каждый попадет на World Cup, это раз. И, блин, ну вот отыгрывать лучшие игроки мира со всех стран, со всех вообще, я вообще в шоке.
I love this outfit from Rux right now. He's a dinosaur. No, I'm talking about his real life outfit.
He's a dinosaur.
He's set up to play in the Fortnite World Cup at 1, and then he's got a dinner date at 7:30. So good for him.
Listen, class is everything, Jack.
I mean, the guy looks great. I'm going to give a shout out for that. Best dressed, 2 extra points. A Fortnite World Cup champion right there, Rux.
Он не выживет. Ну да. Не, все.
exactly what I just spoke about. King on your
Кинг.
screen.
Мне нравится, как Кинг играет. Он молодец вообще.
Duo with Ninja, unable to qualify together for this competition, but did make it into Solo.
Летвика нашего уже убили.
Now seeing what he can do by himself. Was on the farm side of this, so it's also not a fun spot by any.
500 still charred by an edit play. A shot.
Найс. Блин, я же говорю, он хорошо играет.
The edit, Nate goes down. He is playing out of his
Надо было
mind.
взять фиолетовую палку.
Reminds me of like Vinny and Zextro back from the earlier duo competitions when they would just try to fight anyone they saw. King, 7 eliminations in game 1, now 4 eliminations in game number 2, and there's still 42 players remaining. And there is only one person in the next zone that
Зона просто стоит.
It is as far west as possible.
Я не знаю, в зоне он или вне зоны. Я думаю, что в зоне. Ну, типа зона сейчас на сужение пойдет. Да, взял все-таки фиолетовую палку. Никто ничего не пишет. А, кстати, что там по этому? 92%.
What does King use here? Looks like will again place the launch pad, and what you saw right there, a ramp placed backwards to bounce off of it.
Оу, Кинга попали.
Kind of flows quite quickly towards the.
Блин, были бы вонючки, надо было закидать. Если были вонючки, туда в коробку закинуть. Пусть валит с коробки.
I mean, I think I would have bought like a razor scooter when I was that age, probably, and enough ice cream to.
Главное, чтобы Кинга не снайпанули.
Don't really know where I was going with that one, but to be honest, there's going to be a lot of ice
Вот
cream.
то будет весело. А, он это бросил, импульску. Ударно. Вообще, я вот раньше очень... Я думал, от импульсок... О, Джаркса убили. Бывает, чувак. Фекси убивает пику. Фекси наш. Не. Турофлиш? Не получится. Стенку забрал, но лестницу не заберет. Ставь резко. Хорош. Нормально. А, все, понятно. Я бы точно так же бы сделал, тоже бы ушел. ХГ забирает. Не. А, это Кинг. Не, Кинг хорошо играет. Мне нравится, как Кинг играет. Он мой ровесник и играет, блин. Как 8 меня. Залился. Кинг тушит. Фига, кишка. А Бентифиш еще жив? А Буга, стоп. Фекси живой. Я не знаю, Буга ли живой или нет. 17 хп, Кинг не выживет. Не, все. А кто убил? А, Фекси убили. А кто убил Фекси? Какой-то, не знаю, немец какой-то. О, Дабс. Вот шарики никто толком не ломает. Дабс на шарики разъезжает. Мне нравится, как Дабс играет. Вот это вот значок у них. 40 построек. 34 постройки осталось.
Has time to pop a mini by chance? Nope, nothing as of yet. Now the fight
Всё,
for
сломал.
begins. Vivid building out of arc from in your elimination feed now into our top 10. Issa, the controller god as many regard him as, takes down Sam. Another one onto Thatch too. So Issa from Europe getting involved in this game as well. Vivid and Rogue Shark all the way in the
Фига.
background. Still multiple ballers in play. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Fortnite World Cup.
Найс, хорош.
This is game 2 of 6.
Все, буга сверху. А. Ресов. Не, все, ГГ. Не, все. Мертвый этот лица. Не, все, GG. Давай, Дабс.
The ultimate high ground, the crowd cheering behind him, looking to see if he can capitalize on this advantageous position.
Опустись ниже. 1 на 1. Все, давай, Дабс, я верю в тебя, давай. Я не смотрел этот момент просто. У него нет дробогана. Хорош, лучший. Все. Не, все. 8 хп. Сколько у него вообще осталось? 27 хп оставалось. Буга топ-1. Чё там по обнове? Серьезно? Оно не обновилось? Бля, я не могу терпеть этот Fortnite уже. Все, у меня кипит из-за него. Вчера только обновлялся, только вчера обновлялся.
Now, of course, guys, we've been getting through this Fortnite action all weekend long. But don't forget, we actually had creative happening earlier on Friday. Now, if you remember, there was a certain team captain with a great crew. They won, and they became the first ever Fortnite World Cup Creative Champions. And that was the Fish fam led by team leader Scissors. Now, we felt we probably should go ahead and check up on him, see how things are going for him. So let's go ahead and do that.
Kitty Plays, and we're here in the player lounge right now, joined by the winners of the Creative World Cup. First of all, congratulations. Now,
мне это нафиг не надо, Xbox Game.
It's kind of awesome considering I love creative mode. It's thriving, it's awesome, I love it.
Now, Tyler,
Нет,
did you
Xbox
ever
Game.
believe that you guys would secure the position here today?
Yeah, I always knew we had it in the bag. You know, we're the week 1 qualifiers. We're the most stacked team. There was no competition. Just when the last map was a death run, I knew we had that in the bag. We got some good players here. I knew Zan would clutch up, and he did just that.
You could tell he lifted the finger. He said, we need 1 coin. Just grab this coin right down here. If he can do this without being eliminated.
There it is. The win. Oh, he missed it, but gets it with the trap trigger. You realize that one jump won this group here an extra $1 million.
It's unreal. Like, if you want to practice with death runs, you need to like do it slow. Don't go in blindly. Like, try and like change everything you do every time you fail.
Zuzu, can you see yourself doing even more with creative? I mean, the success of today. Will you continue to go and play creative maps?
I think I would definitely stay consistent with creative because I feel like there's a lot of potential in creative still. And yeah, definitely this is my thing.
But I want to go down the line and see what each of you guys plan on doing with that prize?
I'll probably end up like saving most of the money, maybe like some investments.
He's 18, and he just won $336,000. What are you gonna do with the prize?
Rent? Rent. Yeah, I think rent.
I'm gonna be responsible. I'm gonna save my money.
I am going to be responsible and probably just invest most of it and try and get even more money back.
All right, guys, congratulations again. Absolutely outstanding job. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I cannot wait to see what the future of Creative Fortnite looks like.
Once again, massive props to Scissors and the Fish fam. They worked as a unit, and that's what got them the dub in the end. The grandfather of Creative shows up huge here on this stage. Now, of course, guys, we know you want to get back into games. I want to get back into games too, but first, let's just make sure they give a little bit of a break to the players. We'll hop back in as soon as we can. Now, I did talk about Creative a little bit, but don't forget, we also had that Celebrity Pro-Am. Players and people from different walks of life all came together to take part on this stage and play for charity. Now, of course, we had Ninja and Marshmallow, your 2018 Pro-Am defending champions that faced off against Airwalks and RL Grime, your Summer Block Party Pro-Am champions. And the winners in the end were actually Grimes and Airwax. They are two-time Pro-Am champions. So let's actually check in with them and see how they're doing.
I'm here in the player lounge right now, joined by our Pro-Am winners, RL Grimes and Airwalks. Wasn't totally expecting you'd win 2 in a row. Can you walk me through those final moments?
It felt really good. I don't think I would have won if I didn't have him.
Now, RL Grime, you were holding your own, you were keeping up, you were staying alive, you were getting eliminations. How did you change your playstyle from last Pro-Am to this Pro-Am?
I think we learned a lot from the last one, just that you should focus on late game a little bit, and I just sort of let him lead the way and made it happen.
How did it feel to play with a potential World Cup duo winner?
It's amazing. I'm actually going to come tomorrow and sit in the stands and cheer for my man Airwalks, yeah.
Maybe make an Airwalk sign and wave it in the air?
Maybe a 98 bot sign. I'll hold it up.
Good luck on the event tomorrow. Congratulations on winning. Congratulations on winning. Incredible, incredible gameplay throughout Fortnite World Cup Pro-Am.
Man, Grimes and Airwax coming in clutch. Very happy for those two, but I'm actually happy for this guy right here. This is one half of your Duos World Champions. This is Nyrox. I need you guys to make some noise right here, right now. Show him that you love him. How does that make you feel? You got all these crowds.
That's great. Feels amazing.
There you go. Now, Nyrox, let's chat a little bit, right? Because you played yesterday, like I talked about, in the duo competition. Your partner, Aqua, is actually playing today in the solo competition. So what advice did you give him heading into these games?
I told him earlier this morning that he should stick with the plan we had yesterday. And even if he has a bad start, he can still make a comeback like we did. And he can still take the trophy home.
That's pretty good advice, pretty good advice. Now, you're already a world champion. You've got the title. So how does it feel now that you've got this title, you're here, you get to experience this and watch the solo competition, you know, how are you feeling after all that?
I mean, it feels amazing winning the duo, even though I want to compete in solo as well. But hopefully this gives me confidence in solos, which makes me do better in solo next tournament.
Okay. One final question for you. This morning, you know, obviously yesterday was a huge day. You had a night to kind of sleep on it, and then you woke up the next morning. Did it sink in? You know, how did you feel the next morning when you're like, man, I'm a world champion?
It feels surreal. It doesn't really feel like I've won anything because it was so big. It was almost too big to imagine. But yeah, it feels amazing.
Well, again, massive congrats to you. One half of our world champions. Again, give him some love, Fortnite fam. Thank you again, Nyrox. Appreciate your time. Now, there's actually another player we want to talk about real quick, and that is Skite. He just won this second game, so let's see what he's got to say.
Все, отстань, уйди.
I'm Sky from Lustream. I'm French, coming from Paris. I've been preparing the finals by playing customs and playing every day with friends or mates. It was hard in the beginning because my wrist was a little bit broken, so I just wait and then I qualified for the boss in the last 2 weeks. I definitely want to thank my team because they support me a lot when I was playing qualifier. In here we are more aggressive and NA is a little bit slower, so we try to play a little bit safe. I think maybe Zayt is really good and I want to take him down. I don't think play in Stadium will affect my gameplay because I already did it. I love everyone and I'm just excited to play.
There you go. There you have it. I mean, Sky, this guy is amazing. I'm a big fan. Sky, you know this. I'm a huge fan. Now, guys, there's so many players. There's 100 here that I wish we could spend so much time talking to every single one individually. But let's actually dive in specifically to one, and that's a Mr. Vivid, you know, Mr. Clutchman himself. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him there, but don't worry, he's going to bring some more heat. We actually had time to spend with him and his hometown, learn more about him, so let's watch this together.
I live in South Jersey in a small town.
Да камон! Бесит этот Fortnite конченый просто.
You see a couple of cars pass by your house. It's quiet, so it's nice.
Я же нажал на картинку.
At the highest level. My name is Noah Wright. Also known as Vivid. Let's go, dude. I am 21 years old.
Картинка пропала. Я не могу, у меня уже горит из этой... Вообще горит из этого конченого Фортнайта. Жрет, как не знаю кто.
I will do a workout routine. 20 minutes on the exercise bike. 15 minutes of stretching. And then back to playing Fortnite.
Look at that! I don't know what's hitting you, bud. What's hitting you?
Just having fun.
Vivid popping off. Taking that victory royale. That was insane.
Интересно, а где... А, я ее удалил, скорее всего.
I live with my dad.
Наверное,
We've always
сразу.
been really close. All he ever
Потом
wants to do is
скачаю.
fish. He takes care of everything around the house.
Поставлю
Makes
дичь
everything really
какую-нибудь и пусть
convenient in terms
стоит.
of, you know, playing games and just being able to focus on that.
Our schedules work pretty well. When I get done work, he's usually up gaming, so we do spend a little bit of time talking and going through the day's activities.
Я, походу, удалил картинку.
Noah and I helped each other very much getting through the difficult time.
When I was 10, my mom passed away. She passed away to a cancer called small cell carcinoma. It definitely made me mature a lot. Made me realize like how much my mom actually did for me.
Noah's mom had a very big impact on his life. She set the ground rules, make sure the grades were all straight A's, and he could go into gaming.
I credit a lot of my success to her.
Well done there, but he's gonna catch him in the air, and Vivid's gonna get the victory royale. What a game from Vivid.
Knowing that I'm successful at doing what I love to do, that would just make her really happy.
Ready?
Yeah. Fortnite's granted me with a decent amount of money. I can help my dad out now. So I got him the boat.
He presented it to me for being a great father, bringing him up since her mother passed away.
I actually haven't been on the boat yet. So this weekend I'm gonna go on the boat for the first time.
Getting him on the boat and back on the water again, one of my ultimate dreams.
Looks nice.
What do you think Mom would say?
She'd like it.
I love it. I want to thank you for this and everything. You made me happy. What do you think of your first trip out here?
It's nice.
Now you gotta come out more often.
Just as important.
Right there. Now hopping to the other side of the map, we have Blaster, who's looking for a vehicle. He does have a baller. His main priority right now is metal and
Сколько можно уже?
Take a look here.
Я удаляю вообще все, что у меня есть на компе.
Also using his Sky Stalker skin, one of my personal favorites. Charges forward with that drum gun, close range, but no, it was Low Boom who gives him the hands there. Fun fact, Christian, our boy from Fortnite VR Live, told me look out for Low Boom, someone to definitely take eyes on. They did eliminate one another though, so Boom not in this one. Maybe you'll find some better luck in games 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, that is the risk you take when you jump into someone's box here in the Fortnite world. Leshy, another controller player, bringing it back to the good old nostalgic Tilted Towers for that close-range PvP. He's going to get shot a few times right there, but still keeping his cool. He has plenty of extra shields and mobility. Shockwaves are going to be great for maneuvering around this congested area. That's what it is. 4 players in Neo tilted right now. You have to be careful.
This is a controller battle, actually.
We'll see who can best one another here. Leshy's probably looking to take this wall. All right, he's going to break into the building now, get that high ground over his opponent. Astonis is just waiting, not making a sound here, seeing if he can bait Leshy into a trap play. Let's see.
Еще выкатчику.
Make a mistake, and that's really what it is, right, Golden?
Yeah, it is. When players are on that stage here in the audience, the crowd, everyone cheering.
Тут я не могу показать, потому что личные данные, так что сорян.
We talked with a few of the players before the game started today. The number one thing that I think everyone brought up to me was just the volume, right? The sheer presence of where we are. Some of them even went as far as to say, yeah, I don't think I'm going to look up at all. I think I'm just going to focus on the screen. That's what I know. No reason for me to try and go above and beyond anything else, right?
Сколько
Sometimes the
можно?
moment can take you away.
You can see both points of POVs right here, both points of views.
Yeah.
They're looking to take any walls that they can just to gain control, have a little bit of an advantage here.
Yeah, this is basically like the Fortnite equivalent of an arm wrestling match right now. Maybe for some of our parents who are joining us here for the first time, haven't watched Fortnite before, they're really just struggling to try and get positioning over the other player. That is the struggle that they're wrestling with here. See, use wrestling again, worked out well that time.
All right, Lesh this time has decided to commit. He is now down face to face. There's nowhere Astonish can run. He goes into it.
Oh,
lands the 2-shot. And that's the little tactic right there. If there's a
Кого там убили?
ramp in front, lands the 2-shot.
Идет пуш Лэш какого-то, школьника какого-то, и он убивает игрока Астониш. Запрыгивает к нему в коробку.
Another one of my favorite players here. You got Legendian. He's going to be in a fight right now. Moves around the side, loses the high ground. Oh, man. That is rough. Legendian not having the best games at this point in time.
Pizza's placed 8th on average when he qualified in the online opens. On average, across every game he loaded into. That's very high for placement. And now he's picking up elims. unfortunately, like we said here, Jadine just not really connecting the dots today, but it's not over yet. We're only halfway through this competition here.
As Leshy has to get out of there. Whew, that could have been very dangerous, but gets an elimination on Kinstar. A massive elim here for Leshy, who's sitting right now at 2 elims currently in this battle at Neo Tilted.
Representing for all the controller players across the world, Leshy, very dangerous. It's going to be a huge upset right there.
And you just get close range with a player like Leshy, and they'll punish you, right? When you have the controller, you have that little bit of the ability to just L-trigger. You're going to have, and I know some people are going to be like, oh, L-trigger, low, whatever. But the reality is, right, you got the full use of your arm. They have the use of your thumbs. But when you push in for there, you just don't want to box with them inside of that. It's very rough to deal with.
Maybe Ruck said it best, you know, just the age difference. Leshy's 15, you know, could just be a little faster than Kidstar here.
Yeah, I know. When I was 15, I was nowhere near as good as he was with a controller. So, and I competed for a very long time. Got Crew. Was just in this fight here for the moment. Does get ownership of the wall because that player does disengage above him, and he hears that movement all around. You also get an eye on the bottom right of your screen. You can see the mini map where players are going to be located. The player we're typically on is going to be that white triangle, but that blue triangle, that other player goes right in for the fight, is going to knock down the shield just a little bit there. He's going to have minis to be able to top himself back up.
This is very intense here, Goalie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Shockwave. Yeah, you don't want to go for that fight. Shockwaves are so important. Players saving them for that late game. And in some cases, they'll just use it, disengage. You don't want to take a fight. There's no reason for you to do so. A lot of players playing cautiously, as they should, with what's on the line here. But Crew, oh, he marches forward. That's number 2 for Crew.
You can see the excitement there. Nice little smirking grin on his face. He throws a peace sign to the crowd when he takes that player Lucky right out. This Happy Hamlet area is so dangerous to rotate through. You have players like Mr. Savage. Now we see Left Eye and Kurtz. Left Eye was responsible, again, for a big upset in the last game, taking out the likes of some huge names towards the end game. But Kurtz here with a heavy sniper. Can he open up a base here and follow up with that infantry rifle? So he's coming up, he's getting this little peek on right here.
Yeah, I think Ninja yesterday had talked about the infantry rifle, how good that weapon is, and it truly, I mean, the accuracy that you get out of it is absurd. It's something that if you pick it up and you know how to use it, you'll be deadly out there in the field, which he has done a lot of times, Ninja, which is why he likes that weapon so much, and I would understand why a lot of our players will go for that as well. When you have the option to, why not? If you got that comfortability with it. Then you got Left Eye. 2 eliminations currently. Has 2 shockwave nades.
And you know, you got to give some respect to Left Eye, who completely left his previous job 6 months ago to fully focus in on competitive Fortnite. And he found himself at the Fortnite World Cup stage. I don't think it gets any better than that. That is a dream story here.
Yeah.
Мне тут чистить и чистить, чистить,
If you want it so badly, if you want it more than you have to breathe, you just go for that moment. You never know what's going to happen. This could very well be a lot of the people in this arena next year playing on that stage. Courage did say that they had the budget, so I'm just going along with what he said. You know?
All right, but here we have
Tfue.
Tfue playing his classic high ground center map, more or less. He does have a lead for the next zone.
Yep, movement options for him, which in the last game he had the shadow bombs. Didn't really pan out for him because King, very thirsty, went for just all the water he could possibly get out of that one. And I say he certainly was quenched in his thirst. But then Tfue, now this is, sometimes you're flying and then you just become a magnet, and that is unfortunate.
Убили Тифу. Тифу убили.
Unfortunately, right there with one wall open from behind him.
That's
not
so
placed
difficult.
down, unfortunately.
That's so difficult. There are times you fly into the sky and then the entire server just looks
Ну
right
как
at
мне
you.
бесит эта игра уже, Fortnite. Вчера только обновление. Ну не вчера, но позавчера было обновление. Что теперь каждый день обновление, что ли? Что за дичь, реально? Это Fortnite. Что за тупость? Если сейчас они ничего не изменили, я бомбану эту игру. Толку тогда делать обновления. Open up, say, open up, say, open up, say, bitch, Scarlet, say. Ну, сука, все, очистить корзину. Продолжить, все.
This is what we like to call a shambles loadout, as Link doesn't have much loot.
No, doesn't have much loot, doesn't have much HP either. He's gonna have to try again in the next game. It's Robabs does manage to get the better.
Капздец просто.
Oh man, this is intense. Now we're at 62 players remaining. Some players taking fights, others really just focusing on staying alive, staying in this one to the placement points.
That's right, and now we have Leshy back with Leshy. We saw him in Neo Tilted, taking out the likes of Keemstar, Astonish in these 1v1 battles. Clearly not afraid to jump in your box. And oh man, with a loadout like this, 6 shockwaves, 3 launch pads, all the ammunition in the world, and zone favor right now. He is looking very good in game 3 right now.
Yeah, he's got a lot of builds. He's got tons of stuff to work with. No reason why Leshy can't make it to that end game. This is going to be interesting. Controller player. Let's not forget yesterday, Wolfie's controller player getting 2nd place here in the Fortnite World Cup Duos competition, along with his teammate Rojo. There's Leshy though, applying the pressure. With that shockwave nade, he gets right on top of a nice spot, nice position, kind of planning himself. Understanding a player's going to be around there, but now all these players looking right at him as he just has to play defense. No choice. Gets tagged up a little bit, loses some of his shields. But he'll be okay for the time being.
Удаление 500 элементов, 600, 7. Короче, тут дофига вообще всего.
That is so scary, and it's still coming in, but he's fending himself off, punishing another player off to the east side right there. Here's Leshy. He can figure out that that player is the same one that just tried to make a move on him. Could spell disaster for Evilmare.
Evilmare doesn't have much to work with regarding health, right? He's sitting at just above half HP. Right above him is going to be Clash. Got pieces as well. Down low on the flooring. There's Clash. Good loadout as far as weaponry is concerned. Also has that glider. With the HP he has currently, might want to take advantage of Shadow Bomb or something like that rather than exposing yourself in the sky. But this is another play from earlier on, I believe, or actually no, Storm Surge active currently, and we are in live. Apologies there.
So he's sitting on 2 ballers here. You see one here. He knows his opponent's gonna have to go for one, but I guess a little bit of scouting there is gonna realize someone's waiting. Baiting all of the loot as well.
Also off screen, Leshy did take out Evilmare. You mentioned that before, Monster. Ended up happening. And then Storm now, 65 HP. Where is this player that went in for the fight?
It's Wakey. Wakey's right nearby. Storm and Wakey are sitting now in the zone here. Biding time here. Wakey, 3 eliminations, tied up for the most elims in the game so far. You have Wakey, Leshy, and Aspect, all at 3 eliminations so far.
Just under 50 players remaining in game number 3. Players have boxed up. They want to play this slow game. Wait for anyone to make a mistake. It's going to be hard, but for some players like Dubs, they're going to need it. Because thus far, it has not gone well for, I would say, one of the favorites here.
Dubs did go for the shot, unfortunately could not connect. It looks like Clarity's gonna pick up Core Gaming there instead. Dubs, we saw in the previous game, do that baller all the way to the end game.
Yep.
Really playing slow and methodical here. You can't stand still. Dubs has definitely found himself a target nearby.
You see some, I think they're just looking at each other. They know exactly what's going on. Circle's gonna be closing down now. We're gonna find out where the next one is. And that's when players start to prioritize these rotations, the movement. Dubs does have a baller, which has been his strategy. He did it in game 2. He had the baller pretty much all the way until the end there. Got shot out of it, but it did bring him to a 2nd place finish. Another top 3 finish for him, top 5, top 3, maybe even a victory royale, right? But Ideally that,
You tried to catch him right there, you saw that?
Wild.
You wanted to put him in the box for a second there and take it.
Trapped him right there. Player will have no idea what to do at that moment.
Всем привет, ребят.
It's actually pretty interesting as well because Class is desperate right now for an Elam. He has to really feed off of a Siphon. He doesn't have any other way to heal. Even taking the safety edits, making doorways so that he doesn't expose himself even for the slightest bit.
84 builds left for Class. Tons of builds here. And then the Storm. Now the Storm's starting to push. Look at Lecce. Still going for shots as players are moving about. I think I saw a player get right in his face. He did pop that shot bomb. Now we're going to game one winner, Bugha. He's dealt 420 damage in this match. Hasn't taken a single shot. One elimination for him right now. As now the action feed begins to fall. You see so many names getting eliminated one by one. Bizzle out of this one. That was from Lecce, who's having one heck of a game, taking out some big names.
It is really going down right here. You can just kind of breathe in this overhead view right here.
Man.
Bella EU doesn't even realize he has the high ground right now. Clarity G just nearby as well. Bugha at the upper layers in this end game, just trying to avoid that lower ground congestion.
Yeah.
All these players are just slammed in the middle right here. As Andretta gets the high ground, we haven't seen much of Andretta so far. But you gotta be careful, those shockwaves will really sting and take that placement from you.
Yeah, he has been laying low so far, but does manage to maintain the high ground. Lost it for a brief moment, but wisely enough went outside of the Storm to regain some of those builds. On the right side of your screen, you got Bugha and Lecce. Lecce, a great game that he's managed to put together with 5 eliminations. Bugha, your game one winner, maybe looking to get a second win on the board. How massive will that be for your current first place player?
Lecce just picked up his 6th elimination now. He is really popping off right here.
That was on Hoodjay too, a big player there, and a big connection for him. Lots of builds to work with. Bugha does get another one. That's Kinzel.
Right through the trap he goes. Bugha, one of the superior box fighters in the Fortnite competitive scene right now.
Lecce went up for the high ground. If you see it on the left side, he went high ground. He does get possession of it, but ends up getting hit there by Andretta and finally eliminated. But what a run Lecce had in this game. Finally comes to a conclusion when he went for high ground. Now it's Bugha. Again, with 11 players remaining, we're about to get into the top 10 here, Monster.
Bugha last we saw, he does get taken out right there. Unfortunately, it's Peter Pan who takes him out with 6 eliminations. Peter Pan, the dark horse right now. He's gonna get wiped out here too, but it's still a great game. Wakey, who we saw leading in eliminations at one point, is still popping off as well.
Skyte's in this one as well. Maybe he's gonna get a back-to-back win. Riverson, he's got the high ground, he's got the explodes, he sees players, he has 11 builds, so he has to be very conservative with this. Does pop that player in the baller, forcing them down. Going in for the engagement now. More explodes, 5 remaining left. Player lands in front of him, and he tags him up for a lot of shields there, and Riversand has to reset, needs to be careful not to get hit by that Storm. Someone's gonna be above him!
He's too good!
An elimination onto Skype. We're now sitting at a 1v1. 2 players left standing here. Who's it gonna be down low? It's Dubs! It's Dubs down low! And Riversand has Dubs on his site. Who's gonna get the win here? Riversand navigating, tarping. He has 7 builds remaining. Dubs trying to play defense, giving himself any kind of cover that he can possibly make.
Короче, Fortnite идите в задницу, я не буду ничего делать. Он убивает Дабса?
He's too good!
An elimination onto Skype. We're now sitting at a 1v1. 2 players left standing here. Who's it gonna be down low? It's Dubs! It's Dubs down low!
А, нет, Дабс остался один. Один.
Play defense, giving himself any kind of cover that he can possibly maintain. But Riversand, a few more explodes remaining. That could punish Dubs.
He's really trying to keep him down to the zone here, Golden Boy.
Oh man, this is it. He sends another one out, and they're just telling him he gotta run. He goes into it. He's still holding position. Dubs has the high ground, but he lands in front of him, and Dubs gets a victory royale on the world stage. Dubs gets a victory royale on the world stage.
Absolutely incredible for Dubs to connect. Finally hits all of his shots, and nearly a back-to-back performance right.
А, это Касперский. Не, Касперский мне нужен. Эпик лаунчер, эпик. Так, это вообще... Это одно и то же. Давайте я одно удалю. Ну, оставлю. Ну и что здесь такого? Здесь больше нет ничего. Это мне надо, это тоже надо. Блин. Ай-яй. Ай-яй-яй. Нога. Ой, там... Да я знаю, что проблема. Пробуем еще раз. Epic Games, давай. Блин, жрет Fortnite, конечно, капздец, как много. Придется удалить OBS. Все. Нет. Никак. Что еще удалить? Календари, будильники, камера. Зачем мне? Карты, кино, ТВ. Вот Xbox, это вот вся дичь, это мне не надо. Ладно. Это оставим. А вот это. Капец, я ничего не могу удалить теперь. Так, с Windows оставим. Вас чё? Так, это мне тоже понадобится. Бензип нет. Это мне не надо. Так, Касперскую не трогаем. Это тоже не трогаем. Это можно удалить. Как меня бесит эта игра уже тупая. Меня не потянет, у меня памяти нет. Это самая последняя обнова. Самая последняя. Если мне еще хватит места на эту обнову. Я очень сильно сомневаюсь, что мне хватит места на эту обнову. Чё? Давайте я вам хотя бы музыку включу, чтобы не так скучно было. Не, оставлю.
That is the kind of comeback story you want to see here on the main stage.
Prove to the world that you're the greatest to ever do it. But you got to give credit to Riversand. Second place finish for him there. Had the high ground, had the explodes, but it was Dubs who managed to get the better of Riversand. And look at this unfold right here. Riversand had the Rockets looking right at Dubs, and Dubs just needed to play defense. Riversand had no more builds to work with, and Dubs recognized he had the high ground. He just needed to go in there for the clothesline, and he nails it with that green pump.
That is the name of the game. You cannot miss your shots when you fully commit. Dubs and Mega sitting side by side. What a better player to have nearby you. Arguably probably his best friend right here in the competition.
Hey, man, that was nuts. What a game from Dubs. And what a journey he's had. 4-time qualified. We know that he is a unit when it comes to solos. Finally getting that win. So second place in game 2. Game 3 gets first place. He has to be feeling very good about that.
That is the kind of performance he was looking for, and it must feel good to finally solidify a victory over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, it's like it's just a load off your shoulders, man. Honestly, because I've been talking to him quite a bit. And he's like, I just want to get this win. Now with that, Dubs goes up to third place. At the top, though, Sky, he managed to make it to the end game, as well as Booga. So, our 3 winners, 1, 2, and 3, in the order of which
they took their victories.
Game 1 was Booga, Game 2 was Sky, and Game 3 was Dubs. 19 points, 1 point shy of taking second, and Booga, way to hold on to that positioning at the top of the mountain.
King is still here too, as is Psalm, as is Commandment. They've all been in the running, but that was a great fight to see the West and the East clash in those final moments.
I love it, man. I love it. Another, we look here at 11th through 20th. Epic Whale, Fwexy, and Issa all managed to get up in the standings here, as well as Left Eye and Wakey. Oh, what a game that was. Game 3 did not disappoint, but I did get word that we have Dubs standing by with Jordan Fisher to get his thoughts on that win.
A massive, massive victory royale for Dubs here, a definite crowd favorite. A lot of people really excited to see you play today. 2 games in a row, 1v1 situations. Obviously, you're playing for placement here, and we're seeing this action.
On that win.
A massive, massive victory royale for Dubs here, a definite crowd favorite. A lot of people really excited to see you play today. 2 games in a row, 1v1 situations. Obviously, you're playing for placement here, and we're seeing this action happen in real time. Your baller maneuverability, you're staying in the baller for so long, obviously helped you win that right there at the end. Yo, the Rockets are coming down on you hard. What are you thinking in this moment? You trying to get high ground? What's going on?
Last game, I was just purely playing for placement and trying to hold out in the ball, and it worked.
Obviously, we got that victory. Okay, going into these next matches, you're sitting in a pretty great position right now, if I do say so myself. What are you thinking? What strategy going into this right now?
I'm just going to keep trying to play consistent, and I should be good.
Golden Boy, Monster D-Face, it's feeling amazing down here. How's it feeling up there?
I think the feeling's mutual, my friend, because these have been excellent games. I love duos, right? You and I, we talk about all the time, right? We love casting duos, but there's just something special about when it's just you, the game, solos, competition, the way Battle Royale was meant. Dare I say, to quote Dr. Lupo, the ultimate Battle Royale experience.
There's just no room for error in solos. There's no, buddy there, no battle buddy to come pick you up when you get dropped, when you get sniped for making an error. You cannot make a mistake. And we saw this sign earlier today. The Dr. Lupo is not.
He's not old.
Hey, dad fam out there.
He's just a little elderly. That's all it is. As am I. So, what a game that was. And I understand, though, we actually have Cam standing by with a special announcement. Sundown, what's up?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Golden Boy and Monster. And while we're here in the midst of the largest Fortnite event in history, you're probably wondering what comes next. Well, as we said before, competitive Fortnite isn't going anywhere. Once Season 9 wraps up and we move into our next season, we'll be debuting the Fortnite Championship Series. This will give players a chance to compete against the best of the best, where every single result matters, with a leaderboard to track results over the course of the season. Follow your favorite players on their quest to become the first season champions with millions of dollars at stake. Now, this is just a taste of what's to come, as we also plan on stepping up our competitive efforts across the board. So keep your eyes peeled for more news as you root on your favorite competitors in the back half of the matches. Golden Boy, Monster, back to you, gentlemen.
Well, that's awesome. I didn't even know that was coming. Oh, look at you. That was pretty dope. Fortnite Championship Series?
Can I just say, did you hear that? Every placement matters. Wait, is this something you guys have been wanting or something like that?
Oh, this is awesome stuff there. It's obviously not going to stop, and we're glad that that is the case. But focusing on what's at hand right now, Fortnite World Cup Finals here in New York City, and just a reset here. I'm Golden Boy along with Monster D-Face, and this has been quite the day. 3 games so far, did not disappoint. In Game 1, we ended up seeing a huge victory from Booga, who managed to pull it away in glorious fashion. And then Skype in game number 2, just outpositioning Dubs. But Dubs got his redemption and picked up a Game 3 win just now. He said with Jordan that he wanted to remain consistent. He's been playing the baller play. There's a lot of strategies that players can implement here in competitive Fortnite, Monster.
Yeah, you saw Dubs, Game 1, tried to get a little bit more aggressive, opting in to take that fight over by the Greasy Lake, and it did not pay off. So he took his lesson, took his little, spanking, I dare say, right there. He's like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to stay away from that guy. You got to respect him on that rotation. He switched it up, and now he's finding himself in endgame. And that is the kind of adaptability you have to have as a Fortnite professional.
Yeah, it's necessary. 4-time qualified solo player is Dubs. And what I mean by that, when he qualified the first time for this event right here, he queued up again. Each week the solos competition was available.
Did again.
And did it again. And then did it again, and then did it again. That's how good he was. Everyone doubted him. No one knew who this kid was. And then he shocks the world. That, my friend, is undisputed. But the next game is going to start up. Game 4 about to begin. New York City, come on, let me hear you. It's about to start. It's about to kick off. These players need your energy. The battle bus is getting loaded. And look at everyone in the stands. What about that Marshmello concert earlier today? Incredible stuff, that live performance from him. You love to see it, but this has been a wild day thus far.
Now the question is, can Bugga, Skype, and Dubs continue to hold their lead? We saw King fall out of the running last game, and it set him back 4 placements.
That's right. That's right. King is going to be someone we have to keep a keen eye on. Not a king eye, a keen eye on.
Keep a king eye on him, too, because
why not?
A king out there.
He really is, man. I think someone on the Fortnite competitive Reddit said, if you have that name and you take out a player like Tifu, you got to live up to it.
That's
you
right.
You got to live up to it. But there's the standings once again to get you all up to speed. Booga still holding on to his first place position. Skype and Dubs right behind him. Dubs behind Skype by 1 point only. And this is the spread of the island. thus far. Paradise Palms, some players are going to start to land over there in just a little bit.
Dude, Frosty Flights, what is going on there? I see 7 arrows or so just outside of where Dubs is currently positioned. Dubs, our last match winner, in great fashion. You can see he's playing the crack shot house here where tons of chests spawn.
I'm also noticing over at the block, I saw another player there. I did not expect that, another body by the block, but he ended up disengaging out of there. And Clarity G off screen, Legendian as well. They're going to be some of the first to fall in game 4.
Here's a nice little fun fact. 46 of 68 points were scored in the online opens through Dubs placement strictly. So he definitely knows how to get to endgame. We already know him as one of the most mechanically gifted players, especially with his duo partner Mega, who, by the way, they're both qualifying. One of the only teams that are full qualified.
And sitting right next to one another as well, as you saw when Dubs picked up the win. His first person to congratulate him, his teammate Mega. Now, Rux, there you go. That's what I want out of Rux. At the start, Arkrum, that is a big elimination. Shaking the head, shaking the head.
Feels bad, man.
Oh, and
when
then,
friends collide,
yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, that is a rough one. Then you got Nix and Niddle. Nix, a Brazilian player. He was clinical during the qualifiers. Always seeing him in the top 10. Each and every week that he played, everyone in the region, everyone in the Brazil region knows how good Nix is. There's one player right below him, and maybe Niddle is going to experience that for himself. Nix does have that life lead here. We'll have that shield advantage. Niddle, a little weak on the HP side as well.
Listen, Nix is here to show why he's the first qualified solo and duo player from the Brazilian region. There's only a few players who have the title of being fully qualified or double qualified for the competition here. Nix is one of them.
He's hearing all that movement up above him. Niddle does have the high ground for the time being. He goes in for the challenge, and that's Nix doing it for the region, doing it for Brazil. More cowbell, please.
Nix versus Niddle. Nix comes out on top. He wiggles his finger at the camera and says, no, no, not today. Snobby Shores is his home here.
And the good news is he won't get eliminated right away after he does a little motion to the camera. You gotta think I love you, buddy.
You know, no instant karma for him.
No instant karma for him.
Taking a look at Moffin, one of our few players representing the Asian region here.
Japan as well, 15 years of age. Got a lot of great players from Japan that have joined us in New York City this weekend.
Tons of young competitors. We saw a great performance from Sinnoh and O-King yesterday, but Letwike and Twins, they've really been going at it here and in Paradise Palms.
The only players here, so the winner of this one's gonna take it all. 7 builds for Letwike currently. HP, little dire. Twins also gonna be in a rough spot too, and then won't get an opportunity to be able to pop that big potion there unless he goes for it. Okay, he's making it happen. He's going for the big potion pop, and he does get it. That's gonna give him a slight advantage in this fight.
The difference was no hesitation here as Letwike is going back in it, even with the health disadvantage here.
Oh, that shield's gonna be gone out of that one monster. Let does go up above him, and no! Twins got caught looking, and that's Let who will benefit with that Chug Jug.
I'll tell you this, so much confidence. Confidence is key when it comes down to these PvPs. Battles, he just went all the way, he was committed, and he was, you know, hell-bent on getting the win there. But Ghost Issa, we haven't seen any Shifty Shafts action all weekend long. Good to see Ghost Issa here on the main stage, as he deserves as much love as anyone else. What's he gonna do? How's he gonna represent for himself and his fans?
It's a battle, cross-regional battle here between Moffin and Issa. Moffin from Japan, putting this region on the map, perhaps. Issa, well-known player in the space. He's been at this for quite a while. Off screen, you just saw King's name in the action feed against Teak. Another shot, actually. Issa getting third-party. And sometimes when you're in these fights, you just don't expect when another player, they're gonna hear the gunfire. So they're gonna try and push the fight, maybe get an advantage out of it, and it's Mega! Mega marches on in and gets the better of Issa. Now it's gonna have to deal with Moffin, does not have that floor quite yet. Moffin's holding it down, does he get the hack through? Moffin goes in for the fight, but that's gonna be another one! Number 2 for the Mega Man!
We wanted some shifty shafts action, and we got it right there. They are just unfortunately in the warpath of Mega. He lands right outside of this area. Good on him to rotate through here and catch him off guard. Here's a nice little replay from
That was Teak. That was
King
the
taking out Teak.
Yeah, the King elimination on Teak. Huge for him.
All right, Unknown Army. We touched up on him in his pass earlier today. At one point, he was actually somewhat shunned out of the competitive discords for being too aggressive. Little did he know that was the perfect way to find himself here at the World Cup stage, because it was all about pushing players and getting eliminations.
Everyone has their opinion and strong opinions on within the competitive community.
I'll tell you this, he came right back as being everyone's, favorite friend all of a sudden.
That's good, that's good. Obviously, it's, this is a competitive game that is still continuing to evolve and grow. Players, trying to learn one another's personalities and stuff. I understand we do have a replay, though, from one of the other eliminations that had happened earlier on. This is Pika. Look at this, Pika jumping forward, finds one in front. That's the third party, and this player now having to look at Pika, but that was nasty. Pika made him pay.
Pika ordered a quick 2-piece chicken nugget, and Aqua was a part of it. That's so unfortunate. Aqua's really been struggling so far in the solo competition, but I'm sure it's a breeze for him now, being that he had such a huge day yesterday. But jumping in with Zayt here.
Right now, Aqua's playing with house money. That's what we like to say. Huge performance from Zayt yesterday, but unfortunately for him, not going to be the case in Game 4. Hood J, his first elimination is on to one of Fortnite's greats, Zayt. But the fight continues against Dracons.
It's an artillery strike right here, and Dracons is going to have to back up here. Hood J is going to get a moment of peace because he's in the lowest level. He doesn't have to worry too much. Dracons trying to axe his way through the metal, and he's trying to loot right there. That's his loot, respectively, if he can snatch it really quickly, but no, he's more focused on this battle right now. And sets up a cone as well.
And Dracons, from the Brazilian region, so there's just aggression. That's what they do. They'll go after the fights, and they want to get in your face. They
Кто на
don't
стриме вообще сидит, смотрит что-то?
care what region you're from.
Absolutely loving the rhythm right now. He's really messing with the cadence of his axes, but he's gonna get punished. And now he's the one
Да, я не могу обновить Fortnite.
backs up and takes the defensive stand
Мест не
to
хватает
go ahead and
поменять.
heal.
2.1.6, я не найду столько
No
памяти.
minis, unlike Hood J, who has 2 more remaining.
Придется удалить либо ОБС.
Bounce back. He's got all the mats now, Golden Boy.
Yeah, he's got everything to work with. Sometimes you gotta go, just farm up, pick up as much as you can, or maybe even disengage from the fight. It may not be worth it. It's okay to disengage.
Придется
Play the safe
что-то
game.
удалять
There's no
что-то.
reason that you gotta get aggressive, get in their face. We understand that is what the region likes to do, but in this instance, hey, you're playing for the long game.
Yeah, and I talked with Macwood and Calculator in the Players Lounge for a while, and I asked him, what do you do if someone disengages? Do you respect a good disengage? And he says, depends, If both of you guys are in a weird situation, they'll give it up.
There's no reason for you to go for a fight that you're just not comfortable with. Crew, though, he's looking for a fight right now. Has his player playing a little defense, but he ends up getting tagged, and now it's going to be him on the back foot. Has to take a moment, pop a mini.
That was a best case scenario for him because he still has full whites here. He did not lose normal health points. It was just his shield that was ripped off there.
2 quality players right now scrambling against one another. Pika gets rid of the trees so that you can get above. You also get a little bit more resources out of this, perhaps. And it's right in front. Oh, man. Played around the corner there. And then Pika, he just had that brief moment to move away. Saw him move ever so slightly down low. Just saw the tip of his head.
This is an intense battle. Pika versus Crew. Crew, a double qualified competitor here. Didn't play in the duos competition yesterday. And of the two, he's the one who just goes in. He's not the IGL. Let's see how he can handle himself here when just playing solos now. And he's in the zone. He's found himself in the zone.
Yeah, they're going to get ticked for one in the zone, and they're pretty far from it.
He doesn't want to play off that camera angle, but he's going to chuck a brilliant grenade right there. It's going to open up the box.
Now you're inside of the Storm Monster. What do? You're engaging in this fight. You're losing health little by little. What's the play now? Oh no!
Got the med kit, but he couldn't connect.
The play was just to go for it. Pika gets the better, but he's going to continue to tick for health. Does have a launch pad though. Can fly back. He's really far from the safe zone.
And I just gotta say, that was Crew's game to win. He managed to turn it around and get that right camera dominant angle back, and he could have had it at that moment, but Pika's prime positioning put him over the ramp. He lost sight of him, and he let his guard down, and he got punished for it.
And this is from Pika's perspective and how he got the better of Crew. Put the burst SMG, the weapon that I happen to favor quite a bit. I like it, although I do like to set myself up for failure sometimes, so I'll pick up the burst SMG. It won't really end that well for me, but for these players here, they know how to take advantage of each item in Fortnite. They're so good at really working with what's in front of them. Now the format, as we had mentioned before, we're pretty far from it, okay? So when you get to 25th place, that's when the placement points start to tick, but each elimination is gonna give a crucial point. These have been some low point games. If you watched the online qualifiers wondering, man, we're seeing players getting 60, 70, 80 points, even 100 in some instances. Those are the online qualifiers, a different format. These are the best players in the world going against one another. The gameplay is going to slow down just a little bit as they all fight for the positioning.
Yeah, this is definitely that time in the game when everyone kind of positions up and the heavy congestion begins, but King doesn't care about that because he's King. He's looking for a fight, and arguably the worst zone to fight in, approaching zone 4 and 5 here.
He's a savage. He's a savage. He does not want anyone else to sit up upon that throne. It should only be him, but it's okay. Sometimes you don't have to be that thirsty. You can move away. That player popped that ramp in front of him. He gets out.
And look at this, look at that. That was so brilliant. He changes his angle there. He says, you know, I'm not going to use this side. I'm going to go around and start collapsing in on you, just losing or pushing that player out in uncomfortable ways.
Oh, I like this. He's going down low.
Master at finding angles here. He's just looking for the best way to break apart his opponent right now, and he's really playing mind games. Now, suddenly, this guy doesn't know what side he's safe on. He's losing all
Нельзя, иди сюда.
You know, King, he just constantly wants to be in your face. He's done it in each game that has happened, and he always seems to just know where everyone is. Like that is a trait that you know, a lot of the players that are up here, they do have it, but in this South American region like this, where there have been obviously not a lot of players coming out of this for this particular tournament, I think King has put this region on the map without a doubt.
He is truly representing here. This King is tracking is phenomenal. He's still keeping track of Tuesday here. Now deciding he's going to replenish some materials and refortify all of this area. Sanctioning to himself here. This is why he's in the running in the top 10 here. We saw him get taken out earlier before, but this is why he plays the high risk, high reward. If I'm being honest, that's how you take first place. You put it all out there and
go
hope
big or go home.
Everything goes in your favor, honestly.
Go big or go home. King,
Посмотрим, что там.
Tuzi's next to him, as well as Keemstar.
Изменилось.
He's gone. He's flying over to the next target here.
He just doesn't stop. Into another box fight he goes. And now he's going to reposition here and set up for the prime push.
This is ridiculous.
Look, he's still going.
He does not care, people. King wants to jump into your box. It's his box now! Oh, what a beast! What a beast!
He's not here to play. Laser's going to go down. King.
Bow down.
We thought Booga was one of the best box fighters. Hold up, it's time to do some reviews here, because King is putting himself on the map here.
All I want, Bala, if you're listening, I just want you to do a VOD review of King, okay?
Get us a VOD review, please.
Hopefully we can just agree on that. Wild stuff, man. Gets the window, boom, right to the face. Right to the kisser.
He's already looking.
What's wild about that fight too is a lot of players
Черт
just stay
тогда.
stationary in that position.
Бесит.
Storm was coming
Yeah,
in.
they would have been content with being
Ой,
somewhere
вообще.
safe in
He
the
had a
next zone.
target and he just went right for it.
Incredible. Here we have Dubs now. Center zone. Still has a baller. Bucky still in the running here. Leshy also getting right next to Dubs. Also has a baller, so they're probably not going to get into too much of a battle, but who knows?
Maybe they'll be
Storm
baller
Surge
buddies.
is still a thing. Maybe they'll be baller buddies.
Maybe. But you're right, though, about the Storm Surge. You really are, because if you're not putting in damage, 0 eliminations for Leshy right now. How many fights has he actually gotten into? Someone's going to be above. There's Dubs. Minigun. That minigun goes right through your builds. Very powerful against structures.
Dubs, only with 2 eliminations, is actually the match leader, and that's because he's just pinging other players. Yes, just damage leader. And we just talked about Storm Surge. That's why you want to be proactive. You want to shoot at anything that moves. Because realistically, you don't know when you're going to find yourself in that precarious situation where you have to push someone like pretty much with, without wanting to.
And we were talking about this before we jumped on the cast. I think it was Zayt we were discussing. He's really good at not putting himself in a position, but still to get hurt, but still take shots. And Benji Fishy against Storm. First elim for him there.
Saw that. He put the trap above his head through the window edit, opens it up and hits him with the pump.
Now we're on his perspective. But as we were mentioning before, sometimes from a safe position, go for the shots. Go for the shots. Maybe you get a few ticks. Damage perhaps. And King, he's taking fights outside as well.
King is still here to play Golden.
2 eliminations. 53 builds for him. Running with that blue combat shotgun. Great range on that item. It's far away though from where the half in, half out circle is going to be. We're at zone 5. This is when things start to get a little crazy. What does King have as an option here? Is he looking for people on the move and then punishing them? Maybe trying to get the community launch pad perhaps if someone throws that down. What is he looking for here?
It really wouldn't even surprise me if he's just looking for elimination to recap on materials right now, because he doesn't have enough to full tunnel across here. Knowing his playstyle, he's probably gonna want to push here. And there it is. He actually found a launch pad, so his game awareness was at an all-time high here. And take a look here. Tfue next to the replay right there, one of his first elims.
First point, as a matter of fact, against Kurtz. Tfue on the board. The King. What are the chances of that one? He had a good old community launch pad right there. Great neighbors.
Paying attention to what's going on here. Can Tfue make a big comeback for himself here?
A little concerned about that player who had edited out. And Tfue did have the mark on him. Guy though, you hate that one. When you just get focused on so much. You're out and about trying your best to stay up in this game. And then everyone looks at you, and Tfue again, he's doing damage, but he's not getting the elimination. Other people are siphoning those away from him.
Yes, Prisionero was just snatched from him. That's another point that unfortunately does not go his way here. He does have some shadow bombs though, so he will be able to make it to this next zone. He decides that he's close enough to try and tarp in, but now he becomes the target of the server because he's only building in wood here.
People can take note of the structures being used. That will give you an indication as to where they are currently. Our players do build around 2-box metal, perhaps. Metal, the strongest structure. In case you're wondering, maybe you're watching for the first time, wondering what's going on here. Your Game 3 winner, Dubs. 2 eliminations, still has that baller, but it is a very weak baller. I mean, look at that thing, it is cracked up.
Not only that, he doesn't have health either. He is very, very weak here. He has tons of materials though. He just has to play for placement to continue to hold this lead that he has right now on the competition. King gets taken out by Mongrone. Fortunately, right there, and Bugga is still in the running here as he catches Flexi, and the kill feed is lighting up right now as players are dropping, and we're approaching placement points finally here.
We're getting very close to it, Monster. Once we hit 25th place, everyone's going to start to earn some points. Right at the side of your screen, 3 points for everyone still alive, but Dubs, and we mentioned it, that baller was in dire straits. It was not going to be able to survive another rotation, and neither was he with the HP that he had currently. Then the rotations, everyone's starting to move here. They have some shadow bombs. They're going to use those and get to the other side, get to the safe area, build around and protect themselves, and hope that they can continue to gain more placements as we take a look at the overhead.
That's right. He was holding his breath because he needed to get that top 25. He didn't break it through in time. Everyone left in the game has already gotten placement points here, but you want to play for the next threshold. You want to continue to stay in this game here, as that's exactly what Tifu's doing with the Shadow Bomb, hopping around the builds here, trying to keep a low profile. Bizzle still in the running. One of the innovators when it comes down to tarping and pushing out with effective and clean builds.
Just one of the greats of Fortnite altogether. On the side, I was looking at this fight between Ruxin and Riversand. Riversand went for high ground numerous times, and Tifu gets eliminated by Mongrel. And then Rux has high ground, as you see on your screen to the left. Then you have Bizzle, still very much in this one. Takamura with 4 eliminations and earning placement points as more players begin to fall. And we're coming down to the final moments, Monster.
That's right, we are. And we're going to jump into Takamura's POV here because he has 4 eliminations, and he doesn't plan on stopping. Neither does Magro, because Magro catches Benji Fishy as well. Taking a look here at Takamura, tarping out. He is going to fall down, and he's going to get shot a few times here. What's he going to do is he's going for the high ground. He sees an opportunity. It's his to take. Now jumping over with Mongrel's in the low ground. Drops another player right here. Is he going to be able to connect in full? Can he convert here? He does not.
So many players are landing in front of Mongrel here. Coming down to the wire. Top 9 remaining. 1 in front of Mongrel. Does he get the elim? He manages to just get away by the skin of his teeth. And now Mongrel gets up to the high ground. Maybe using this. If you keep jumping on the wall, you won't go out of the shadow state. He gets up top, but there's no one going to be there. There's a person all the way above him. Knocks the structure down. And the player does manage to catch himself and maintain the high ground positioning here. We have some great players still left in this game. But Mongrel with 4 eliminations is looking for number 5. And that was on Nate. We're now down to the final moments. Top 5 Monster.
He had to fully commit there. Those are the maps that he needed. He's still in the game here. He's going to go all the way for it, and that's a trade out with the 109 to the face here.
Huge elimination on Takamura. We're into a 1v1v1v1. Top 4 players now. Mongrel in the ultimate low ground. Going up against a player. It's got to be Bugga. The game 1 winner will not be enough against Mongrel, who does get picked quite a bit. He loses a lot of HP. No more builds, but the victory royale goes to the veteran Som, who manages to pick up a massive win. To the veteran winner, Takamura
now times
more very much in this one. Takamura with 4 eliminations and earning placement points as more players begin to fall, and we're coming down to the final moments, Monster.
That's right, we are. And we're going to jump into Takamura's POV here because he has 4 eliminations, and he doesn't plan on stopping. Neither does Magro, because Magro catches Benji Fishy as well. Taking a look here at Takamura, tarping out. He is going to fall down, and he's going to get shot a few times here. What's he going to do is he's going for the high ground. He sees an opportunity. It's his to take. Now jumping over with Mongrel's in the low ground. Drops another player right here. Is he going to be able to connect in full? Can he convert here? He does not.
So many players are landing in front of Mongrel here. Coming down to the wire. Top 9 remaining. 1 in front of Mongrel. Does he get the elim? He manages to just get away by the skin of his teeth. And now Mongrel gets up to the high ground. Maybe using this. If you keep jumping on the wall, you won't go out of the shadow state. He gets up top, but there's no one going to be there. There's a person all the way above him. Knocks the structure down, and the player does manage to catch himself and maintain the high ground positioning here. We have some great players still left in this game, but Mongrel with 4 eliminations is looking for number 5, and that was on Nate. We're now down to the final moments. Top 5 Monster.
He had to fully commit there. Those are the maps that he needed. He's still in the game here. He's going to go all the way for it, and that's a trade out with the 109 to the face here.
Huge elimination on Takamura. We're into a 1v1v1v1. Top 4 players now. Mongrel in the ultimate low ground. Going up against a player. It's got to be Bugga. The game 1 winner will not be enough against Mongrel, who does get picked quite a bit. He loses a lot of HP. No more builds, but the victory royale goes to the massive win.
Using the shockwaves in the final moments to snatch the high ground, Psalm claims a victory, but it's Mongrel who had a ton of eliminations and really was the ruining factor for so many of our top. Competitors in that round right there.
Mongrel was running roughshod in the ultimate low ground, but it's Psalm, the vet. He has performed in so many competitions at a high level, and it's no surprise here. When Psalm gets that high ground, everyone needs to look out. He's so good at that. Mongrel had no builds left. He had no HP to work with. He did the job he needed to do. Top 2, he got second place and a bunch of eliminations. And Shockwave's late game again, Monster. Such a great piece of equipment that you can use.
Love that right there. Stands up, flexes, hits us with the let's go. He's feeling good. And that's a huge accomplishment to take a victory. And just you only have so many opportunities to win a game here. Just to do that alone, it's magnificent.
Yeah, it really, magnificent is the best word that I could think of at those final moments. Games 3 and 4 certainly did not disappoint. Oh, that was a wild, wild game. Here are the standings, though. Booga still holding on to first place. Look how far ahead he is. 8 points currently, but Psalm now jumps in to second place. Nate in third. Riversand, who's managed to put together some great games, is in fourth. Rux as well. Epic Whale in sixth. Skite and Dubs get knocked down to 7th and 8th. And King, who has been very aggressive, is in 9th. And then Peter Pan from South Korea in 10th place.
Doing so good. The last player we saw in 11th place, Epic Whale, shot himself up to that front page, guys. So don't count out Andretta, Benji, Savage, or anyone else here in the top 20 because they have what it takes. Look at how close the...
Два новых Палпи с кусочками алоэ или кокосового желе. Палпи поднимает настроение на палпический уровень.
Так, ВП Валенсия пригласить в группу Сова Хакер. Пригласить в группу. Это из тех, кого я успел увидеть. Пригласить в группу. Поехали.